Wielka Kompilacja Głupich Przestępców by TomoNews. Część pierwsza.
To confess to burglary, please press 1. For other 911 services, press 2.
A group of New Mexico burglars will soon be providing their cellmates with some pretty hearty laughs. After robbing a house in Roswell, the trio just had to get on the phone and discuss their adventure. One robber is heard on a police recording bragging that the house they robbed belonged to her own mother. Police recording, you ask? Well, apparently one of these Mensa members looped 911 into their little conference call. As the conversation/confession continues, one of them can be heard playing Bon Jovi's Wanted, Dead or Alive. Excellent choice of music, guys. Cops got it all on tape, and considering the burglars mentioned the address of the house they robbed plus other helpful info, cops required just 3 donuts to track them down. Yvonne Thyberg, Aaron Burrell, and Marvin Myers were charged with burglary, but charges against Myers were dropped. Was that accidental dial an accident, or perhaps Myers could be a snitch?
ATM robbery attempt literally blows up in man's face. A surveillance video recently captured a would-be thief trying to knock off a cash machine in Darwin, Australia by destroying it. The thief, with a t-shirt covering his face, appeared on surveillance video before 3:45 a.m. The video shows the man tinkering with the ATM and lighting some sort of accelerant before an explosion. The force of the blast literally knocked the man to the ground and blew him out of his flip-flops, as he can be seen fleeing barefoot. The cash machine was completely destroyed. The video was posted online by the police to help catch the criminal.
New Orleans clerk gives armed robber a serious whooping.
Hey, you, hey. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hey, come here.
A criminal got what was coming to him after he messed with the wrong gas station clerk. Tennessee native Jimmy Rogers went on a robbing spree around the city of New Orleans beginning Saturday night and ending Sunday morning. Wielding a handgun, Rogers began by sticking up 3 pedestrians, the first of whom managed to escape. His next 2 robberies were successful, but the career criminal managed to only net a measly $40 and 2 cell phones. No doubt hoping to hit the big time, that's when he thought it'd be a good idea to rob a fuel zone gas station. Too bad for him, he f***ed with the wrong motherfucker. Security cam footage shows Rogers getting his ass whooped by the clerk, Mustafa, who showcases some Northwestern African self-defense techniques honed to perfection in his native Mauritania. Rogers left the scene badly bruised, buck naked, and sporting only a neck brace.
Suspects take selfies on stolen iPad, upload them to iCloud. A pair of non-tech-savvy criminals made a costly mistake after stealing a Texas man's laptop, cash, and iPad, then took celebratory post-theft selfies that made their way to the victim's iCloud account. On January 8th, 20-year-old Dorian Marquis Walker Gaines and his brother from another mother, Dylan, were looking for some quick cash. They thought they hit it big when they broke into Randy Schaefer's truck and made off with his MacBook Pro, $5,000 in cash, and his iPad. With everything going right for the young men, they opted to continue having it their way by stopping for a quick bite to eat at Burger King just 2 miles down the street. These 2 boneheads took 17 selfies using Schaefer's iPad, flaunting their newfound Benjamins, and shot this Burger King ballin' video.
This, my good people, is what we get from a good night's hustle. We doing it big face being over here. New, old, we just hustle. Don't worry about
no
how.
20s, no 20s, no 5s, no 10s.
Read it.
The budget-conscious ballers next hopped across the street to Starbucks, where they connected to free Wi-Fi to post their video to YouTube and Facebook. Schaefer later discovered his truck had been broken into when he was headed over to work. Frustrated and feeling violated, a week passed before it dawned on Schaefer to log on to his iCloud account, which is when he spotted the stupid suspect's selfies. Houston police successfully identified Gaines, who had previous run-ins with the law, thanks to the words he had tattooed on his chest. Brilliant. These idiots have since unsurprisingly been arrested.
Idiot is arrested by police after saying he'll shoot someone after getting 100 retweets. A few days ago, Dakari McAnuff went on Twitter and posted that he planned to shoot someone in the street if he got 100 retweets on his message, and included this photo to prove he was serious. The message gathered some traction, with one Twitter user tweeting back that he was gonna laugh so hard if McAnuff gets arrested. But McAnuff seemingly did not care, and after a while went on to post this picture, supposedly to prove the deed was done. Well, the police caught wind of his idiotic scheme and used their finely honed detective skills to track McAnuff's Twitter account and eventually pinpointed his location in downtown Los Angeles. Needless to say, officers soon arrested McAnuff and took away his weapon, which they discovered was actually just an air rifle. Seems like all McAnuff was looking for was a little bit of attention. Well, he got it in the form of being held on $50,000 bail. Guess he's learning the hard way that some jokes just aren't that funny. Well, not funny for him, but this guy probably is laughing his ass off.
Stoner in Arizona trades stolen diamond for just a gram of marijuana. A Phoenix area man stole a $160,000 diamond from a package and only traded it for a tiny bag of marijuana late last month in Phoenix. The suspect, Walter Earl Morrison, was a UPS ramp agent at Phoenix's Sky Harbor International Airport. Morrison found a parcel sent by Brinks. Thinking the parcel contained cash, he hid it under his shirt. Inside a UPS restroom, he opens up the parcel and discovers the diamond inside. Now, with $160,000, you could get a decent house in Phoenix, a Mercedes S-Class sedan, or 32,000 Happy Meals from McDonald's. Instead, Morrison stuffs the diamond in his pocket and called his friend for a deal, and trades the gem for a gram of marijuana. Phoenix police recovered the diamond and arrested Morrison on September 16th. He was charged with felony theft. Dumbass.
Bank robber gets arrested after posting selfie with submachine gun on Facebook. A suspected bank robber figuratively shot himself in the foot after posting photos of himself brandishing a submachine gun, allegedly used in a bank robbery on Facebook. Jules Baller, or as he prefers to be known on the social networking site, King Romeo, allegedly robbed 3 Michigan banks earlier this year, netting a grand total of $15,000. During one of the robberies, the 21-year-old New Yorker, demanding money from a teller, reportedly waved around a black submachine gun. And he would have gotten away with all 3 burglaries if it weren't for a meddling police sergeant who stumbled across Facebook photos of Baller showing off what looked to be that very gun and wearing clothes matching those worn by the suspect in all 3 robberies. As you can imagine, he was promptly arrested and charged with bank robbery and carrying a firearm while committing a violent crime.
Thief logs into Facebook during home robbery, gets caught. A burglar has been caught for not being too bright. He logged into Facebook during a home robbery and then didn't sign out before taking off with his hoard of stolen items. James Wood returned to his home in South St. Paul, Minnesota on June 19th to find it had been tossed. His watch, cash, credit cards, and checkbooks, among other items, had been taken. Wood then noticed some additional items. Soggy shoes, jeans, and a belt had been left behind. Not only did the thief leave behind personal items, but he also had a hankering to check up on his friends during the robbery and had left his Facebook page open on Wood's computer. Wood posted a message on the page telling the friends of 26-year-old Nicholas Wigg that he was a thief and left his phone number asking people who knew Wigg to get in touch. The next day, Wigg himself called up Wood and they agreed to make an exchange of their belongings later that night. When Wigg arrived, Wood called the police, and while Wigg was still at his home, the police arrived. Wigg now faces up to 10 years in prison and will have to pay up to $20,000 in fines. The selfie-loving thief has a previous burglary conviction and past arrest for domestic assault, as well as pending drug charges.
Kinky burglar cross-dresses with victim's bra and panties. Deeside police arrested Merrick's Berkovics after he burglarized a victim's apartment in North Wales. The Latvian was found dressed in the woman's clothes and is believed to have lived in the home for 2 days. The owner of the flat currently lives with her parents, but returned to the home with her father to pick up a few things. Upon entering, she found her clothes strewn all over the place and called police. The victim's engagement ring and camera were missing. Officers noticed the kettle was still hot and searched the premises. They found Berkovics hiding under the mattress between the wall and bed. The suspect was wearing the victim's bra and panties, as well as a pair of her tights and a silk top. The victim recognized Berkovics as someone she'd helped with food and clothes in the past. The suspect said he was wearing the clothes to keep warm, but nobody, including Judge Rise Rowland, was believing that story. Berkovics pleaded guilty to the February burglary and has been sentenced to 18 months in prison.
This is why donut shops almost never get robbed, stupid. That's right, folks. The Philly PD dutifully had this donut shop staked out and... Alright, you know what? This is too easy. I'll just allow you knuckleheads in the peanut gallery to make all the jokes you want about cops and donuts right here. And go. Done? Can we move on? Good. Anyway, this surveillance video from this past Monday shows a robbery in progress at the Dunkin' Donuts on the 6000 block of North Front Street. Because of recent robberies and not donuts in the area, detectives stepped up patrols hoping to catch the suspect in the act. And catch him they did. Officers Sherman and Austin slipped in behind the suspect and got him disarmed without any shots fired. The perp, 20-year-old Russell Mason Watts, didn't even have a real gun. Brandishing a BB gun while committing a Class A felony has been known to lead to severe lead poisoning, but thankfully the cops here seem to notice the fake gat. Mason Watts is also suspected of robbing another store in the same area about a week ago.
A robber charged right into a Belfast, North Ireland bottle shop and fell right on his hind part, losing his disguise, which consisted mostly of a big hat and some glasses. What? Wait a second. This guy must have taken robbery lessons from watching episodes of Scooby-Doo. Still, he managed to bake off with a few quid from the register, but thanks to his, slip-up, the North Ireland Police Service is hoping the clumsy crook's viral splash is sure to put him in a cell with plenty of traction soon.
Drugstore robbery. Customer saves the day. 65-year-old Freddie Johnson hoped his gun would work as a health insurance card at the CVS pharmacy in Sarasota on Sunday. Watch Johnson as he suspiciously walks around the pharmacy. I wonder what he's up to wearing a bandana over his face. Also, keep an eye on this guy. That's Janus Jarisso, and this is his audition tape for Civilian of the Year. Using his hand, Johnson pulled the old "I have a gun in my pocket" trick and asked the clerk for oxycodone and hydromorphone pills. Jarisso was keeping a cautious watch from behind. The clerk complied, and wait a second, that's definitely not a gun in your pocket, Mr. Johnson. Before making off with his grandpa candy, Johnson stops to ask for a bag. Jarisso walks up from behind him and puts a chokehold on him. I said bag, not gag, you little whippersnapper! Bag! Jarisso took the phony stick-up artist to the ground, that's 2 points, and put a submission hold on Johnson until police arrived. Busted. Stick-up kid picks the wrong time to rob a store. Lancashire, UK. Apparently, holding up a store is not as easy as one might think. A few hours after one poor woman started her shift at a local convenience store, a burglar barged in holding a giant kitchen knife. The intruder has been identified as Kyle Iveson. His plan simple, perhaps too simple. Burst in, weapon in hand, and tell her menacingly to empty the register or else. Unfortunately for him, the cashier was none other than his former mother-in-law, Karen Brown. Let's take a look at the CCTV footage. It probably went something like this.
Yo, open the cash register now, woman, or I'ma kill you. Don't make me come over there. Don't. I'll come over anyway.
Okay, calm down. I'm going to open it now. Give me a moment.
Open the cash register, mother of pearls.
What? Although Kyle's face was covered entirely, Brown still instantly recognized her former son-in-law's voice. Kyle realized he had no choice but to change his voice then and there on fear of being discovered. Wow, great thinking, Kyle. Sadly for you, it's too little, too late. Karen Brown pretended not to know him and only called police after he left. Smart thinking, eh? Kyle was immediately located and arrested. Unable to dream up a defense, he admitted his guilt. Was this a botched act of revenge, or did Kyle really have no idea he'd meet his former mother-in-law once again? Leave your comments below. Store clerk knocks out crackhead in botched armed robbery. A pair of cracked-out thieves were busted for attempting to rob a speedway in Ann Arbor, Michigan around 12:30 a.m. May 1st. Frederick Coble and his girlfriend Christina Maria Borsia were later arrested for the crime. They told police that before the attempted robbery, they had been drinking and smoking crack. They said they went to the gas station with the intention of stealing some smokes. The clerk was in the cooler behind the register when the couple walked in. They commenced plundering the cancer stick collection. When the clerk came out and busted the party, they pretended like they were going to pay for them. As the clerk was ringing up the cigs, Coble was playing with something in his pocket. It was a pair of pliers, which are not an accepted form of payment at Speedway. The clerk saw the attack coming and tackled the man to the ground. Coble was knocked out cold from the fall, and the 22-year-old fled to call police. Borsia was unsuccessful in waking up her boyfriend, so she grabbed some cash from the register and got out of there. Coble woke up moments later and stumbled out of the convenience store. Fast forward a few days, police recognized Coble from the security video. He was riding his bike when police spotted him, then asked police if he could return the bike to his girlfriend before being arrested. Well, sure. They accompanied him to the Arbor Landing apartments where he introduced them to his girlfriend, Miss Borsia. Wait, where have we seen that face before? Oh yeah, the chick from the robbery. They both confessed to the crime and are being held on $250,000 cash bonds. The clerk must have known something was up and was prepared to literally throw down.